Next up on the channel, we've got a hit from the Cyberverse show, as well as the IDW 2019 continuity. We're looking at Shadowstriker on Way I Got It Figured.
The way I got it figured.
What's up, Transformers fans? Way I Got It Figured back with another Transformers Legacy Evolution review. This time we're looking at Cyberverse Universe Shadowstriker. And this figure was one that I was looking forward to. A lot of people have sort of complained about it not truly looking like the Cyberverse character. But honestly, I don't know that they can or will make one. The other thing with this figure is it is definitely a pre-tool of car robots, speed breaker / robots in disguise, sideburn. So I wanted to get the preview version of the mold anyway for that character who, once it comes out in United, I will definitely be picking up. So we're going to do what we normally do. Even though the figure is open already, as you can see, we're going to go over the package, we're going to go over the figure, we're going to show the figure in both modes, and then of course get you out of here with some final thoughts. And yes, there will be a short stop motion at the end. So starting with Shadowstriker's packaging, here's her vehicle mode on the box, and it's definitely a earthish car, but it's got sort of a futuristic feel to it, with her gun on top that looks kind of like Sideburn's gun, but not really. And on the side you got your close-up of Shadowstriker, and then her in an action pose. Then on the back, you have her 18 steps for accessories and the Evo Fusion gimmick, which is basically the back bumper of the car can go on the front of the gun, and her vehicle mode. Of course, you have your QR code for her tech spec. Always want to highlight that. And then of course the standard Legacy Evolution side packaging. Alright, so that's a look at the box. Let's get on to Shadowstriker herself. Okay, so here is Shadowstriker out of the box and in at least a reminiscent pose to what was going on the back of her package. And even though the figure is not what a lot of people expect, I think it's a pretty good figure. One weird thing that I would say about it is that her arms are actually attached to her back. So like if I start to transform her, her chest and head's down here, but her arms are literally attached to her back. Interesting way to go with that. It doesn't really hinder articulation too much. It's not really stopping anything. She can still articulate well. So there's that. And then her doors sort of become like a little cape in the back. It's kind of cool. Sideburn didn't really do that. But it works out. And of course, you've got her car roof, and you can attach the bumper to that too if you don't want to go the Evo Fusion route. So here, let's do that. So you can just sort of plug it in there. I don't know what that's supposed to do. It just looks kind of dinky to me. But, you know, that's the Evo Fusion gimmick. I believe both parts are Blast Effects compatible. We'll find that out for sure here in a bit. But you also have the undocumented kind of sword mode. So her weapon can be a melee weapon as well as a firing weapon. There you go. I think she's an interesting robot. Again, a preview of Cyberverse, and she's got, you know, pretty decent posability as a robot. She's got the ankle rockers. She's got, you know, thigh swivel. She does have a bit of up and down head movement. Very good for expressions when you're doing stop motions for sure. And she does have wrist swivel, as you can see. There's a swivel joint in there. So yeah, aside from just some of the weirdness of how her arms are actually attached to her body, I think she's a pretty decent figure. To get her to articulate in certain ways, you do have to swivel the arm around so that you can do things like that. But it works. All right, so we're gonna get her in car mode and see what we've got there. Here is Shadowstriker in her automotive mode. And while the transformation steps aren't really difficult to figure out, the car mode leaves a lot to be desired. It's very tabby, as many modern Transformers are nowadays, but it just won't kind of hold together because you're just relying on tabs, and it's just, the tolerances are just not that great, as you can see. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna leave it in car mode, obviously. I keep my Transformers in robot mode, but, you know, I do stop motions, and they might be required to transform. And this figure is just not something that I want to, I mean, you can see what I'm doing here. It's just not staying down. Something's misaligned, either in, you know, how I did it or whatever, but it's just kind of gappy. I mean, it works well enough in short doses, so, you know, it's okay. But, you know, it's really bumming me out already kind of for Cyberverse, because honestly, he's going to be right off of this mold. The front's going to be different. The hood's going to be probably somewhat different. The roof. But, you know, it is a pretty straightforward transformation. She sort of just throws herself back into a car in a sense. but the gaps, I just can't get it to line up, and that's not really cool. Now, it does roll well enough. So, you know, it has potential as a car, but, you know, I just wouldn't rely on it for vehicle mode. Ooh, see, look at that. Just stick her gun in there and pop goes the weasel. So, you know, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to dock this figure for that because it doesn't seem to be the copy. It seems to be the way they made it transform. I mean, you're relying on 2 tabs to hold the roof in on either side, and so if they're not lined up perfectly, it's just gonna pop out. But it does roll well enough, and when you get it in there, it does look like a car well enough. So yeah, so we'll get her back in robot mode and check out some blast effects, and then we'll get you out of here with some final thoughts. Alright, so we've got Shadowstriker back in robot mode. Again, her transformation is fairly straightforward. The tabbiness of the car was kind of annoying, but after messing around with it and doing stop motion and everything, it does work a little bit better. You know, I mean, it's still gonna sort of downgrade the figure, but perhaps not as bad as I was. So she can take blast effects. So there you go. There's a nice purple Decepticon blast effect there in the Evo Fusionized version of the gun. I'll take that off. Here is a larger blast effect. Also a nice Decepticon purple. I like to use the larger blast effects for characters that are known to, you know, sort of pack a lot of firepower. She does, so, you know, it's appropriate for that sort of bigger blast effect, and she can hold it up. Primarily because of the flatness of her feet and the fact that a lot of the weight is distributed to the back, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, she can do the blast effect thing, which I really enjoy. So next, we'll do a few comparisons for size. Alright, so here's Shadowstriker with your standard Autobot standard size Autobot car deluxe. Prowl. You can see she's a little on the small side. And here she is with a sort of standard Voyager size character. Sound leave. And here she is with the standard bearer leader class Optimus Prime. That should give you a pretty good indicator of where she is on the size chart. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to final thoughts. Final thoughts on Transformers Legacy Evolution, Cyberverse Universe, Shadowstriker Deluxe Class. I do like the figure, particularly in robot mode. It's a nice preview for what Sideburn Speed Breaker is going to look like. But the transformation, while not really difficult, it's very difficult to line up with the tabs and stuff. I mean, it was really kind of a frustrating experience. Didn't take long to get it into car mode, but it never really kind of like finished getting into car mode because of the tabbiness not lining up. So unfortunately, that's kind of a bummer. But also, fortunately, I don't really keep my Transformers in alt mode. So my initial thought was I was going to give her away. I got a figure rank of 7, but I am going to bump it up to 8 because animating her was really fun in car mode, and I used the tabbiness sort of to my advantage when doing the sequence that you're going to see. Well, I got a figure rank. I'm going to give her an 8. It's a decent figure. I can do what I need to do with it, which is either display it and or use in a stop motion. And yeah, she does what she needs to do. So that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, everybody. You know, the stop motion videos seem to be doing well. I would like to increase the frequency, but it does take some doing to do them and think of what I'm going to do with them. So, you know, it just sort of slows things down for Transformers, but they'll never stop coming. So be on the lookout for them. All right, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you're not new, like and leave a comment. Until next time, everybody stay safe, and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.
The way I got it figured.